Hello friends, and welcome back to Trials of Imorah. There's some new enemies and a new weapon, so let's get started with the weapon. This is Earth's Wrath. It is the first flail / morning star weapon in the game, whatever you want to call it. It works somewhat similar to other projectiles in the game, but it actually retracts, so you can use it multiple times first of all, and it will also pierce through enemies, dealing damage to many at once. So, let me spawn 3 imps in a row here real quick, and as you can see, it does tremendous damage to all of them. It will also deal damage to enemies nearby that happen to be standing on the ground, because of its effect causing an earthquake around it. It also destroys breakable objects, such as wooden boxes like that, and it just makes everything jump up, including the player. I'm undecided if I will keep that in, because it is a bit annoying, but it does really show how much power is behind every throw. Unlike other items in the game, that other spells like fire or poison, for example, Earth's Wrath does not cost mana, it costs stamina, so it's in a similar vein to just normal melee attacks. It costs quite a bit also, which will be the way of balancing it, because it does deal a lot of damage to enemies. Nearly one-shot this guy. So yeah, I'll hopefully be adding more flails and morning stars in the future. This is just the first one though. As you might have noticed, the UI is a little bit different. The hotbar is now at the bottom of the screen. I've added a new setting in the display tab of the settings menu. You can actually pick where you want it to be. So if you want it back in the original place on the right side, you can do that. And then you can switch it back to the bottom if that works better for you. So you can see the right side of your screen, have everything be a bit more symmetrical. As I've talked about in a previous video, I wanted to add side quests or some other content to really capitalize on the new metric system, and I have done just that. There's now a side quest with this scary guy you can find in a secret area, where he loves fighting so much he will actually give you a mission to go and slay a bunch of monsters for him. And if you slay enough, then he will give you a very cool reward. Right now, the quest has it set up that you need to kill 500 monsters for him. I'll see if that's too much, because this is halfway through the game, so you should have killed a lot of enemies already by this point. But hopefully, yeah, if it's too many, then I'll lower it to make sure players aren't to make sure it's actually interesting and they're not just forced to do this for a long time. But it is just a side quest, so, you know, not that big of a deal. I've also been making lots of progress on the new fire level, most notably being the 2 new enemies, first of which are the volcanolings. They are very similar to the spin bud enemies from the very first level, but these guys are not plants. They are entire mini volcanoes that shoot fire out of the top and bottom, given a normal rhythm to them, so you can actually dodge them when you jump around on top of them, hopefully. They are reflective to projectiles, and of course resistant to fire and poison. They are weak to area of effect attacks though, so as long as you don't use a fire bomb, if you use an ice bomb for example, that will do a lot of damage to them, clearing them out easily. The other new enemy that I've added is the Searing Berserker, which is the new melee enemy for this level. They borrow a lot of code from the shadow demons from the previous level, but they are different in a couple of ways, most notably being that they are on fire and will light you on fire if you stand too close to them. Oh! They don't move quite as fast, but they do have a special thing. Once they are on low health, they will actually explode in a last-ditch effort to kill you. They also don't use a shield or fire projectiles. They're strictly a melee enemy. There will be a different variation of these guys called the Searing Casters, which will in turn exclusively shoot projectiles. They won't melee attack you. But for now, we just have the melee guys. They're about 80% done probably. They're still... try not to die to this guy real quick. Not all of his animations are done, and probably need to tweak the AI a little bit with a bit more playtesting, but I'm very happy with the progress on them. So real quick, oh! Yep, he got on low health, and oh, he actually did kill me with the fire effect, oh no. So yeah, we're making good progress on the fire level. We'll definitely, hopefully, have it done by the end of this year, is still the goal. So yeah, so that's about all the progress I've made over the past month. Thank you all again for your support watching these videos. If you want to playtest the game, feel free to check out the itch.io page, linked below. And yeah, that's about it for this time. See you next time.